Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card video. I did some background highlighting on today's card. I'm using the Sketched Roses background stamp by Impression Obsession and my Striped Greetings, which I love, from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to start by inking up my background stamp with some Versamark ink. I'm using some slate gray cardstock by Simon Says Stamp, and it is cut to A2 size. I'm going to trim it back later. I'm just going to put a piece of scratch paper on here so I make sure I get a perfect coverage and I get it all stamped onto my cardstock. And I'll just flip it over. And now I'm going to sprinkle it with some white embossing powder, and then I'll heat it to set it. Once I get that all heated up, then it's time to highlight. Now I used gray cardstock and black highlighting, but you could do this with pink cardstock and red highlighting, light blue cardstock with dark blue highlighting. I just wanted a more elegant looking card. So I'm using to highlight my Zig Clean Color Real Brush marker. There are several reasons why I chose this particular marker to color. First of all, it's very, very dark, so you get a really solid black image. And even though it's a watercolor pen, it really doesn't pill the paper at all. And the reason is because it barely touches the surface of the paper. So with your water-based markers, you really have to brush the paper with the tip of the marker, and that tends to pill up your paper. So this goes on nice and smooth where it barely touches the paper because it's a brush tip. Another reason why I use this marker is because it has an extremely fine tip and have a lot of little areas that I want to get into. And you'll notice that I'm coloring each individual petal rather than coloring over the whole thing quickly. I could cover the whole thing quickly and the marker will be resisted by the embossing powder, but it does stain the embossing powder just a little bit, and maybe it doesn't bother you, but I just wanted my embossing powder to be really, really bright white. You could buy this marker separately from the full pack of Zig markers. I've used it separately, like without the other colors, on many different occasions for highlighting. So it's a really nice pen to have. So anyway, I've chosen a few of the top roses to highlight. You could do this technique with pretty much any background that has just a bunch of something and you want to highlight just a few pieces of it. I decided to color 3 of these roses just to kind of have a bunch, and then I'm going to have my sentiment kind of coming out of those 3. After coloring them all black, I wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to make them stand out even more. So I took my Wink of Stella pen, the clear pen, and I just went over it, and this went a lot faster because I'm just adding a touch, and it doesn't matter if I go over the white areas, and I don't need to get into every crevice of this flower. So I'm going to quickly go over all 3 of these flowers with my clear pen. Now I do have a black Wink of Stella pen, and I tried just coloring the flower with just the Wink of Stella black pen without doing the Zig marker or anything like that. And I felt like it didn't look dark enough to me, and it had more of a gold tint to it. So with this, I really get a lot of nice contrast between the white and the black, and the black marker looked more of like a goldy shimmer versus the Wink of Stella clear, which has more of a silver shimmer to it. And I thought that that was better with the white and the gray, and it was sort of keeping with the whole cool theme. Anyway, so I'm going to continue through this and finish all these flowers with the Wink of Stella pen. I know it's kind of hard to see in the video, but it does have a really beautiful shimmer to it. Some of the Zig black marker got on my Stella pen, but it's no big deal. You just write with it on a piece of scratch paper and it comes right off. So I'm going to trim the top and bottom of this, and I'm going to mat it to a piece of black cardstock. So my roses are 3 1/4 and my black cardstock is 3 1/2. So I have a 1/8 of an inch mat at the top and the bottom. And my sentiment, I'm just going to stamp with some Hero Arts Hero Hues black ink onto some Nina Solar white cardstock. And now I'm going to adhere my rose panel to a Nina Solar white cardstock base that's folded on the left side just for something different. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to flip that over and add some Scotch foam tape. So that's just popped up. And I'm just keeping this card pretty simple here. And then I'm going to have it look like it's sort of coming out of the group of flowers and go right up to the very edge. So I trimmed it so it would fit just like this. And once I get that adhered, I am done with the card. So pretty simple card and really effective with the background highlighting. So I hope you'll try it at home. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.